Hello everyone, it's RiverBendSurvival again. Today I'm probably going to call this one Blast from the Past. And it's kind of a mini video response to a video that Bob808Knight did. Let me get everything set up and I'll be right back with you. Back, Bob did a video about a stove in a can. It was something from years gone by that he liked, that he owned, that he really enjoyed. And it made me start thinking about something that I'd used a long time ago. And it was another stove. I bought it back in like 1985, somewhere around there, from the Marine Corps Exchange in the little Marine Detachment Annex that was outside Naval Station Norfolk. And it was a little stove that I used when I went camping, when I went hunting, up along the top of the Smoky Mountains there in western Virginia. I used that thing for a good number of years. And then I actually, when I got out of the Navy, when I retired, I went to being a truck driver, driving 48 states for a couple of years. And I took it with me then and used it in my truck. When I stopped truck driving, my son was going through scouting, was working his way up through Eagle Scouts, and he took it. And he used it for I don't know how many years. And to be honest with you, I had completely forgotten about it until I saw Bob's video. And I started thinking, you know what, I had that cool little stove, don't know what happened to it. Went looking for it, tore all through the house, called him at his house. He's like, I haven't seen it in years, Dad. Tore all through the house, yelling at everybody. Nobody knew where it was at, and I figured, well, it just got lost, broken, thrown away, whatever the case may be. Last week sometime, maybe the week before, I was cleaning out a cabinet out in the garage looking for something specific, and I saw this red bag, and I took it and threw it to the side with everything else, found what I was looking for, and went back in the house. 2 nights later, I'm sitting there on the couch watching TV, and I quite often don't pay attention to what's going on. I'm just doing my own thing, my mind's somewhere else. And, it hit me. I'm like, what was in that red bag? I get up, my wife goes, where are you going? And I said, leave me alone, don't distract me. I go out to the garage, I look around, find the red bag, open it up. Guess what? It's the old stove. I come back in the house and I said, look, here it is. And she goes, is that the one you were looking for a couple of weeks ago? I was like, yeah. So I said, tomorrow, this was like, I don't know, 9 o'clock on a Friday night. So tomorrow we need to go by the hardware store. I want to get fuel. And she said, okay. So went by the hardware store, got fuel, brought it back home, fired it up. Well, I filled it up. Takes a couple of seconds. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. And I figured it was either going to work, not work, or blow up. How much could it really blow up? Hold on a second. How much of an explosion could it really make? I filled it up, didn't smell any leaks, didn't hear any leaks, fired it up, it worked, shut it off, went back in the house, had it in my hand. Let me take you out of the bag here. Had it in my hand and I said, look, Amy, it works. I fired it up again, pushed the button, was talking to her and she goes, your hand's on fire. And I was like, what? And I looked down and flames were rolling out around my hand. I didn't get burned, but there was a leak. It has gaskets and seals in it, and they just hadn't had time to repressurize and adjust. I filled it back up right then. I took it out to the garage, out to the shop, I filled it up, and it's been full ever since. Let me get the camera readjusted here just a little bit so I can show you closer details of it and what it is. and then we'll fire it up and do something with it. Give me just a second. Okay, here it is. Let me turn it around here for you. I'm pretty sure the camera will pick it up. It's an Athena pocket stove. It's a pretty cool item. I don't know that I would recommend it to anyone, but you know, I've had it since 1986 at least, and this is 2016, so 30 years. Went through me camping with it, hunting with it, doing all kinds of stuff. My son taking it on hike out after hike out and camp out and camp out. 2 years riding around in a semi-truck cooking, and now it's back in service again. So for me, it worked out. Let me show you how this works. You flip it upside down, get a can of butane. That's why I had to wait for the hardware store to open. Not a lot of places sell butane anymore. And right here it has a little spout. Stick it in there, hold it, push it down. As soon as it stops, it's full. I can tell you from experience, say you're boiling 2 cups of water, I can tell you you could probably do that safely 15 times, maybe up to 20 times with 1 tank full of fuel. It holds more fuel than you think. So once it's full, turn it around. Right here it has on and off. You can probably hear it. It has on and off. I overfilled it. And it has a striker. And the striker does work on it. So when you're ready to use it, turn it on, hit the striker, and it's going. I don't know if you could pick it up on the camera or not. Trust me, it's going. It was going in hot. So what I'm going to do is, my in-laws actually for Christmas, and I have not got to take it out yet, bought me the GSI outdoor teapot deal. Inside of it, my parents actually got me the whatever the heck it's called, the little stove that I want, the little alcohol stove and windshield. I've been playing with them, but I haven't taken them out on any kind of big trip. So we'll put this on here, and as you can see now, this log is cut at a tilt for a reason, so it tilts back towards the camera, so it's not sitting dead even. As you can see with something like this, it is a perfect fit. I'll take and put 2 cups of water into it. Drink a little bit. Put the lid on it. Turn it on. Push the button, and it's going. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this thing go until it boils. I'll tell you how long it took when it's through. But what I will say about this is, let's be honest, the vast majority of people, and I know a lot of you that watch my videos, we can afford what we can afford. If we want to have the newest high-tech stove on the market, we can go buy the newest high-tech stove on the market. It's not bragging, it's not showing off, it's nothing like that, but most of the people that I know of that watch my videos, you're in the same boat as me. You're far from being wealthy, and nobody would ever call the vast majority of us rich in any way, shape, or form. But because of our priorities, we can prioritize money towards stuff. Something like this, when I bought this in 1986, maybe 85, when I bought this, it was like $8. And $8 was a lot to me back then. I had just joined the Navy the year before. My son was just born, or my wife was pregnant with him, one or the other. And $8 back then was a lot. So for this thing to last, I'm going to put this shield around it because it's kind of windy out here. For this thing to last for 30 years worth of use, That's just impressive. And the only reason I mention this at all about the money or those kind of things is it's not always the most expensive gear that works the best. And it's not always our best gear that is our favorite. For those of you that are just starting out or getting into this or watching videos to learn what they want to do or not do or try or not try, the best gear is not always the best. There are 1,000 stoves out on the market that are better than this. I can tell you right now, this Trangia stove, it is a better stove than this for backpacking, for camping. This is an awesome little device. I absolutely love it, and it's going with me on my bike packing trip I'm taking at the end of this month with Kenneth Cram. I love this thing. It's so handy, and to be honest with you, I never owned one. I've had all kinds of little alcohol stoves and things like that, but I've just never owned the real deal. I've been playing with it, and I love it. But this, at $30, $40, whatever this setup cost, is 100 times better than this. Having said that, I've gotten 1,000 times more use out of this than I'll ever get out of this. Because at the time I could get this, I couldn't technically really afford it. I just did. But I got lucky. I got 30 years worth of use out of it on and off. It's already starting to bubble. It's not to a rolling boil yet. But I got 30 years worth of use out of this between me using it, then using it as a truck driver, then my son using it, and now it's back to me again. I've been boiling crap left and right in this pot. I love this pot. It's going with me on this trip that I'm taking, the bike packing trip that I'm taking, because it's going to be mountain house meals for me, so all I got to do is boil water and make coffee. That's why I had them get me this, and it's a great little pot. And of course it came with I'm mixing reviews here, or stories. But for those of you that don't know it, it comes with 2 cups, a bowl and a cup. One's got an insulated dude on it, so if you got hot water in it, you don't burn yourself. It comes with a lid that fits each of them. So, you know, if I want to make my coffee in this and put a lid on it, I can do that. And they stack together, they nest together, and it all fits in the bottom of it all fits in here. Normally you can put the lid on it, but what I've been doing, I don't know how much this is getting on the video. What I've been doing is I take this piece and I just set that in the middle of it. I put this in the bottom of this and just set it on top. That way this metal doesn't scratch up my lining inside. I lied to you, it's at a full rolling boil, so you did sit here the whole time that I was boiling, so the time will show up on the video. It was quick. It's really boiling. So, like I said earlier, it's not always the best gear in the world that makes you the happiest, or at least makes me the happiest. By the way, this right here is a collar off of a dryer duct. I got it from Lowe's or Home Depot one. I think it was Lowe's. And it's just a little aluminum collar to fit dryer ducting together. And had this chintzy little system to press the ends together to make it into a loop. I just grabbed it and broke it apart. It makes a great shield for this to block the wind, especially when I'm using, well, it works for this just perfect too. It worked great. The only thing that I will say, let me finish up on this before I get off subject. The only thing I will say is this puts out a lot of heat because it's propane, and I'm sorry, it's butane. It puts out a lot of heat, and when you have a full-size pot on it like this, it directs a bunch back down. So this thing gets really toasty hot. Like, I don't want to hold it right now. It's that toasty hot. That's the only downside to it. If I was using my Stanley Cook set or something that was more open and would allow the heat to come out the top, it's not nearly as bad. But real quick before I get off of this, I can use this and set this right on top of it, and this wraps around it and does the exact same thing. I'm not trying to sell any of this stuff. I'm just showing you some of the gear that you're going to see coming up from the video from our bike packing trip. Anyway, back to this. Let's finish up. I love this little stove. I don't think it's perfect by any means. You know, and it has its drawbacks. This heat buildup that it has right now, that can't be too good. It can't be too safe, but it's done it since day one, especially if you have a big pot on it. It's done it since day one. It is far from being ultra light. I would say this thing probably weighs 1.5 pounds. It's not ultra light. It is heavy duty. It is stable. You saw when this was on here, there is no rocking involved. The log's rocking, but there's no rocking, shaking. This is some sort of plastic right here. This is not metal, these pieces, but they don't burn, they don't melt. And it's got notches, so it feels like almost like it grabs the base. Anyway, I don't even know if they make this anymore. This one's 30 years old. It's the Athena pocket stove. And just to wrap up here, like I said, if it hadn't been for Bob's great video about finding the stove that he used a long time ago and trading somebody to get it, I would have forgotten all about this, and it would have stayed out in the shop, hidden and buried. But it's back to life again, thanks to him. Thank you all for watching. Get out in the dirt and have some fun. Bye.